Imagine you're sitting with someone, listening to them, and as you listen, you feel yourself naturally following their suggestions. The process of compliance, it can happen so gently, almost imperceptibly. You might not even be aware of how it's unfolding. And that's the power of it, isn't it? You know, when you've been asked to do something small, something simple, like sitting down, maybe placing your jacket somewhere, or simply holding a pen, it feels easy, doesn't it? Because each small action, each little choice, it has a subtle way of guiding you into the next. And after all, it's just a pen, just a jacket, just a small request, so why not? Now here's the thing. As you make these small choices, these tiny yeses, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The pattern begins to form, almost without you even realizing it. A pattern of gentle compliance. Each time you comply, it strengthens your connection, your trust, and your willingness to comply further. And that's exactly how it works, isn't it? You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. It's simply the way your mind operates, how it builds momentum. So imagine for a moment that as you agree to these small requests, a part of you becomes even more open, even more receptive, because each little yes, it opens the door for the next. You may have noticed when someone asks for a little thing, and you say yes, it feels easy, effortless. When that happens, when you've complied once, it's almost as if your mind says, well, I've already done that. Why not do the next thing? Why not take the next step? And this is where the beauty of it unfolds, isn't it? With each request, with each command, little victories, they add up. And as those victories accumulate, they create a momentum, a rhythm. It's almost like a dance, isn't it? Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the next and the next, until you're moving in perfect harmony with the situation, in perfect sync with the flow of requests, the natural ebb and flow of compliance. Now you might start to wonder, what happens if the request grows a little bigger? You might feel like you've already gone this far, so why not continue? After all, you've said yes once, twice, 3 times. And the next step, it doesn't feel so big, does it? It's like a staircase, where each step leads naturally to the next. Each small choice builds upon the last. So it almost feels like a natural progression. And what happens when you become aware of the pattern? When you realize every small action, every small agreement is part of a larger, unconscious process. You might even begin to notice. You begin to catch on, to see the pattern more clearly. And yet, when you're aware of it, the pattern seems to work even more effectively. Because once you're aware of the rhythm, you can move with it, guide it, shape it, or even break it if you choose to. But there's something intriguing about how these small steps, they can build such powerful momentum, isn't there? You begin to realize the more you practice, the more you allow yourself to follow the natural flow of these requests, the more deeply ingrained the process becomes. And in the back of your mind, perhaps you start to notice how it becomes easier, almost automatic, for you to comply. Because after all, it's just the next step. And what's the harm in taking it? In this very moment, as you sit here, hearing this, you might begin to notice how your body responds to even the smallest suggestion, how it feels natural, comfortable, to comply, to move, to act. And the more you follow these small suggestions, the more they build, almost like a muscle, growing stronger, more automatic. The more you comply, the more you trust. And the more you trust, the easier it becomes to continue. And just as easily, just as naturally, you can start to realize any time you want to interrupt this process, break the pattern, you can. You can stop it in an instant. But here's the thing, isn't it fascinating? When you become aware of the process, how it unfolds, you have more control than ever. You're no longer just moving with the flow, but you're in command, able to guide it whenever you choose. Aware of the momentum, aware of the power of each little step. So, as you continue, just notice how each small action, each request, becomes a gateway to the next. Notice how each time you agree, it becomes easier, smoother, more effortless. And in this flow, you find yourself more aligned, more in tune with the process, more able to see the way forward, knowing exactly what comes next, and how easy it is to simply allow it to happen, naturally, effortlessly. And now, as you sit with these ideas, allowing yourself to fully understand them, you may find in time, you'll see how simple and powerful compliance truly is. How it works so subtly, so gently. It feels like it's always been a part of you, and perhaps, just perhaps, you'll notice. This knowledge, it allows you to make the most of every moment, every step forward, guiding yourself with ease, always in control, always aware. Wouldn't it be interesting then to see how powerful the small steps really can be, how the cumulative effects can be so much more than the sum of its parts? As you notice that, you might find yourself drawn to take the small steps more often, more natural, because it feels so good, doesn't it? So easy, so powerful.